Hey y'all, Kirsten the Eccentric here, and welcome back. So glad you're here. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about parenting. Um, just to let you know, I am a parent of 5. I have 3 biological and 2 bonus children with my husband. 1 boy, 4 girls. Mm, yeah, very busy household. And so, through my parenting experiences and journey, I came up with these 3 main responsibilities that I think is important for every parent to know or whatever. I'm gonna start by saying take what resonate and leave what doesn't. That's fine. Everything may not resonate with you, and that's fine. That's okay. But just give it a chance and hear me out for now. Let me start by saying, to be a parent, especially a physical parent, is a gift. It's a gift that a lot of parents take for granted, because there are a lot of people out here that can't have children, so they adopt, and take up on other methods, or have trouble having children. And so, just to give birth and bring another being into this world, take part in bringing another being into this world, is a very special gift and a great responsibility in that aspect. And it's something we definitely shouldn't take lightly. I got my notes here, so you'll see me referring or looking down a little bit. Also, because being a parent, we decided to bring our children into this realm. There are other options. No, I'm not an advocate for abortion, but there are other things that you can do as far as abortions, and or give your child up for adoption or something. If you feel as if you can't be your best self, or you choose not to be, the best parent to that child, and that's fine. That's okay. That's what you need to do for your life. I have no judgment at all. I make no judgment for that, because those are some things that people have to do in certain situations, or feel that they need to do, and that's completely okay. But this video is solely about people who are parenting and who chose to parent. That's it. I'm gonna leave that there. So, first, and let me make it clear that I am an advocate for highly effective parent. So if you chose to take on the role of being the mother or being the father, you should definitely be trying to do your best at it, just like you try to do your best on your job for your boss, or you do your best at being a wife, you do your best at being your church member, or you do your best in practicing your spirituality, or whatever it is you choose in your life. You should definitely do your best at parenting. Do your very best at being the most effective, the most highly effective parent that you can be at the positive level, the most positive level, because our children need that. Our children deserve that. And I think that it's a lot of people out here that's having trouble with that this day and age, hence me making this video. So I hope this helps someone, and I know it will. The first thing I feel that our role as a parent is to provide them with guidance. provide them with guidance. Now, this can be very tricky because a lot of parents confuse guidance with control. Know and understand and understand that we have no control. It is not your duty to control anyone but yourself. The only person you have control over is yourself. So it's not your role to control your child, but it is your task to provide them with guidance. Now, if you need to, look up the definitions of control and guidance and figure out the difference, and you'll kind of figure, know where I'm going here. So, our children, they teach us how to guide them. A lot of us think that, we're just supposed to teach our children what to do. When they come into this world, we already, give them their name and, provide them with a certain lifestyle or tradition as far as like our religious practices or our diet, the things that we consume, or different beliefs that we hold. We automatically put those off on our children, and that's that's the way of life for some people. But guidance is showing them. That's part of us feeling like we're showing them guidance. And guidance is a little deeper than that. It's showing them the right direction, but also accepting the fact that they are going to make mistakes. We make mistakes. That's how we learn. And making mistakes, you learn more, because you learn what to do and what not to do, or what works for you and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And being that we are all unique beings, what works for you as the parent may not work for your child. And it's important for you to know that. That's what I mean when I say children teach us how to guide them. When you pay attention and learn your child, you would know that, oh, yeah, that worked for me, but that don't work for them. We got to do something different. And you might need to reach out and get help or whatever. Get someone to assist you with guidance. But that's like, we have to allow them or accept that them making mistakes is a part of life. And we just guide them and maintain a line of effective communication, because your child can do something and you will say, I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have did this way, or, I've been through that before and this is how I handled it. Now, I don't know if that's how you need to handle it, but, this is what I would do or whatever. And you give them that and you allow them, you accept the fact that, they made a mistake and they have to either face consequences or, they've learned from that and they make sure they don't do certain things again. Also, the second thing that we need to do is to love them unconditionally, in which, communicating to them effectively and allowing them to make mistakes leads into unconditional love. Because what I mean by that is, You should love your child with no judgment. Like, don't consistently judge the things that they're doing. Just simply observe, you know, and pray for your understanding, or for you to accept your child, because you putting off judgment on your child will cause them to not like you, or to create a, like a form of hatred for you. Or it can definitely cause them to not even love themselves, which at that point, that's you causing trauma to them as their parent. And that's not, that is something that I know parents, if you chose to be a parent, you don't ever want to be the cause of trauma in your children's lives. I know that for a fact. And so we definitely need to love them unconditionally without judgment. And we need to understand that in loving them unconditionally, we need to understand that they are our greatest assets, because no matter what mistakes they make, or what, decisions they choose to make that we don't agree with, because we're not going to always agree with them, their value never depreciates. That's why they're our greatest assets, because their value never depreciates. The fact that they are a part of you and you brought them in this realm should show you that, number one, you are valuable, and number two, that they are valuable as well. And they should know that. And then too, like, also with loving them unconditionally, your children should know that your love for them does not depend on their academic achievements or corporate successes, because those are physical things, and just the outside physical things doesn't define who they are as a person, as a human, as a spiritual being, or whatever you want to refer to them as. They're special. We're all unique, and we're all very different. We all have great gifts, and multiple gifts. Everybody I know got multiple gifts. Some people are just suppressing them and not use them, but we all have different sets of gifts which make us all very unique in our own right. And we should definitely, like, as parents, it's very, very, very important to make sure you're loving your child unconditionally. They need that because this world ain't always the best. They're going to experience other people on the outside, saying hurtful things to them, or maybe doing hurtful things to them, or not even just, being the best people to them, because hurt people. And as a parent, it's your job to be loving them unconditionally, showing them what unconditional love feel like, so they would know, oh, this is not love. This is not love. My parents, my mama and my daddy, they taught me what unconditional love feel like, and this, I don't want this. They won't accept nothing less than what it is that you have shown them. And that's so important, and these things I'm very passionate about, if you couldn't tell, because I've learned these. Like, these are principles and things that I live by, because my children deserve it. Every child deserves it. And if every child were to be loved unconditionally, do you know how much of a better world this place will be? We'll have less people that are walking around with attitudes because they don't love themselves, or, you know, having a bad day because they have a, you know, the worst outlook on life, because they don't know what it feels like to receive or give love unconditionally. And so that's that part. And also, in loving them unconditionally, you should definitely accept their life's decisions. Hold on, I'm thirsty. Give me a second. Like, accept the fact that they not gonna always decide to do what you want them to do. You know, you give them an option, allow them to pick. Allow them to pick without judgment. And there's another way you can help in loving them unconditionally, especially, you know, at the younger age, you know, and children like 10 and under, they still figuring themselves out. But when they get up, you know, starting at like 11, 12 in the double digits, they start feeling the sense of independence, and they start to know what they really want, and us allowing them to, you know, make certain decisions about their lives and things, like something simple about what they want to wear to school, whether you feel like it match or not. If you know, if they're not in uniform, sometimes a lot of them express that freedom, express them to that way to create their, you know, how they want to create their image, or how they want to wear their hair, or, you know, certain little small things like that. You know, those things are a part of them loving themselves and them creating their self-image and how they want to portray themselves to the world. And we should definitely accept that. That's what I mean about accepting their decisions, you know, when they are younger. Now, for adult children, their life, you shouldn't have no input on their adult life unless they come ask you directly, Mom, what do you think about this? Or Dad, what do you think about this? All you need to be doing is just a listening ear and fully supporting your child as they going about their life. That's the best way that they'll thrive. They'll know no matter what. Like, my mom loved me unconditionally, and in return, I'm a happier person because I know I received this love, and so I know how to love others, and I choose to love others. And in leading that, that leads into my third responsibility, which I feel it is our duty to assist our children with healing. Because, you know, if we weren't at a point where we fully loved ourselves, or we weren't at a point where we healed ourselves from certain traumas and things that we dealt with early on in life, we pass those things on to our children through DNA. Now, research this. Go look up this for yourself. You, as the parent, and I mean the biological parent that birthed the child and bring them into this world, you pass unhealed trauma onto your children through DNA. So a lot of things that they battle, or a lot of experiences, life experience that they have that challenge them, they are experiencing these things because of you. Whether they come from the mom or the dad, it came from one of us. And so we should definitely assist our children with healing. And in assisting them with healing, we start to heal ourselves. If you aren't already working on healing, you start to heal yourself. And that's a great thing, because every woman that heals, and this is solely for my women, and I know this for my women to be true. I'm not sure if it's true about men or not, but I know for every woman that heals, you heal 3 generations behind you and 3 generations that's coming after you. And that one within itself is very powerful. It's very necessary for us to heal and know that we can heal. And it's very empowering for this work to be done, because that's healing generations. And also our some things that our children may need healing from, if it didn't come like through DNA, it definitely came from the way we live our lives, because our lives directly and indirectly affect our children. How we talk to them affect them. How we treat them affect them. The foods that we choose to feed them affect them. Even like certain practices, how we live our day-to-day lives affect them. Like if you're, let's say you're a parent, because this is something that I learned too, because it used to be me, that work, because you're trying to provide a certain lifestyle for your child, but you hardly spend any time at home, raising them, being their mother. Someone else is raising them or spending more time with them. That's going to affect them in a certain type of way, and it's going to affect each child differently. It definitely may not affect every child the same, because everyone is uniquely made, but it's definitely going to have some sort of effect, because with anything there must be balance. Yes, work and provide that life, but make sure you have one-on-one dates with them. Don't always, be on the go. And, when you have multiple children, spending one-on-one time with them each is very healing. It's very healing, because that lets them know that they are important, because you choose to give attention to them and only them in that certain amount of time. And that's something that I suggest. That's something that I do with my children, and it is very, they love it. They love it, even though my children are with me like 95% of the time, literally. But hold on one second. But yeah, that's very important in healing. You get to talk to your child and really get to know them on a genuine, deeper level, and get to know what type of things they're facing in their life that you may not know about. If they're having some problems, and what's bothering them, and things that you can assist them in healing with. This is how you get to know those things, because that's when I do this. We should assist them in healing. If they get a cold, and I'm talking about mental healing, but even with physical healing, if they cough, get a cold or something, you gonna give them some herbs or make them some tea or something to help them heal that way. physically, but it's very important for the mental healing, because we all, no matter who you are, every human being on this planet experience some type of some type of situation that can potentially cause trauma, or a very bad experience that can cause something that you have to heal from. And depending on like how you're taught to deal with things, then that'll like determine what direction you will go in. And sometimes we choose to deal with certain things through isolation, or depending on certain drugs or substances or alcohol abuse, or sex or things like that, going into teenager and young adulthood. So we need to know these things and help our children heal through these things if they're dealing with those type of things, or even like isolation or a lack of self-love. That's something that has to be healed from. Lack of self-love, we got to teach them how to love themselves. And if you're a parent that don't love yourself, you'll be teaching yourself how to love yourself. And we got to get used to, in the more brown or black communities, melanated communities, highly natural person, whatever you refer to yourself as, we have to get used to counseling, like seeking therapy and counseling, because that really helps. Sometimes all it takes is just to have a conversation and get something out and release that, because trauma builds up from us holding it in and not releasing it. We got to get used to expressing our emotions in a non-harming way. Cry, like get your cries out, get your yells out, get your screams out. Go take boxing, or go smash something, release that. We got to get used to healing in those ways, because that's very important. And let me see, did I leave anything out? No, I think I covered it all. And yes, so we gotta get used to healing those ways. And let me make this statement. Earlier I did mention, parenting is not only physical. This video is not just for people who birth children, because there are people or parents that their only role was to simply help children manifest into this realm, be it the mother or the father, and that's it. They weren't meant to be in the child life, or nothing like that, and that's okay. Like, this here is a safe space, no judgment zone. And so you can be a aunt, a uncle, a step parent, step or bonus parent, a mentor, a teacher, cousin, whatever, and still like take on these responsibilities, especially if you're assisting in raising children, or you are raising the child yourself. You're basically their parent. So these things are for you as well. So I just wanted to make that clear, make no mistake about that. But yeah, just know and remember that the three main responsibilities, because I feel like I done ran it enough, are to Number one, provide them with guidance. Number two, love them unconditionally. And number three, assist them with healing. And then once you do those three, I think those will set the tone and the foundation for everything else. Once you lay that foundation and set that tone, you should be doing your job and doing your thing as a highly effective parent. And they'll come out and choose the best way possible for them, whether you agree with it or not. Okay? But that's all for now. Thank you. I appreciate you for watching the video. If you got this far, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what you think, and give me other topics and things you want to see videos on. I love y'all as always. Let's continue to heal together. Thank you. Peace. Good night.